They're right. Racing as well. First to get going, Excel Train actually won the start with Awesome Boy gathering speed, driving across, but Excel Train's going to hold him early. Cold Chisel up running third soon after the break. Earthstorm on its inside, going forward Lombardina as Awesome Boy puts the foot onto the accelerator now and burns off Excel Train, and he gets rolling at the 1,000. Decision Maker was back there better than midfield. Curramundi down on the inside of Cherry Can Run. A length away behind those Olympic Park, the Horseman digging up on its inside. Then Lavalier, Super Session second from last. The tail end of Zadar Rock. Awesome Boy pouring the pressure on. At the 700 mark, he really got them going. Awesome Boy led 600 from home. A length and a half to Excel Train, the same margin Lombardina, and she's had to cover some ground. Earthstorm is booting up on the inside, trying to hold a spot somewhere from this leader. In behind it, those in the middle came Cold Chisel, Decision Maker, Cherry Can Run, sweeps to the outside. Further back behind them to Curramundi and Olympic Park. Awesome Boy led at the 250, shifting ground. Excel Train coming. Earthstorm's getting right up near the inside as Louis goes to work, riding like a man inspired at the 100-metre mark on Awesome Boy. He's got them again, Awesome Boy. Awesome Boy, in fact, starts to edge his way clear. Super Session comes late, but it's Awesome Boy again. The odds on Pop dominated in the last from Super Session, and Excel Train close up as well, Earthstorm. They beat off the others comfortably. Curramundi, Cherry Can Run from last. Zeta Rock, Decision Maker. Nothing from Olympic Park first up after a long break. Followed by the Horseman, Cold Chisel. Lavalier finished well back and knocking right up after covering ground and working in transit. Lombardina's last. So the favourite totally dominating in the final event. Number 6, Awesome Boy. Brandon Louis had to burn off Excel Train to find the lead, but once he did, he then just clicked into overdrive and started to peel off some pretty impressive splits because they did string out, and he had them all out of their comfort zone, hunting a fair way from the judge. Awesome Boy totally dominating the last on the card, justifying the $1.70. They did back him in with huge conviction. And the son of Awesome Rock delivers. For Dawn K. C. Henman, trained by Brucey K. out at Bindoon and written by Brandon Louis. Beating 3 Super Session, Lucy Fiore, 4 Excel Train, Zeph Johnston Porter and Earthstorm Sean O'Donnell in 124.10. 2.5 lengths and a neck. The margins here to the last race for the day. That's his 4th victory that he has posted from 17 runs, but really has been in the zone, particularly in the last fortnight. The key is leading and dominating and certainly picking his way through the classes. He adds another one in the happy 70th birthday Fred White handicap. And the way he won, he might not have blown a candle out, this winner in the last event of the day, Lockie.
What a win from Awesome Boy, back to his old ways, and that's the way he loves it. Out in front, rolling along and breaking their hearts. Awesome Boy gets the job done in the last of the afternoon, bringing up back-to-back wins for trainer Brucey K and Brandon Louis. As Bruce joins me now. Bruce, congratulations on the win. It's taken a little while for this 4-year-old to get back into some form and get back to showing his true ability, but when he's on song, he is awfully hard to run down.
Yes, that's right, Lockie. Yeah, no, proud of the horse. He did it good today, you know, had to work to get across. Brandon was worried about one was going to come underneath him and try and lead. I said, well, you know, not to hold him up, mate. If it's not going quick enough, let him just roll. So that's what he did. He does a good job.
I'm sure you were very pleased in the first 400 metres because that's exactly what occurred. Excel Train was out in front, but you could tell your boy, he just really wants to get running, and therefore Brandon allowed him to roll.
Yeah, no, great ride by Brandon, and I couldn't be happier for him. He works hard, doesn't get a lot of sets, but you know, if he gets on a good horse, I think he's, you know, he goes well. So, you know, I'll keep putting him on. Back-to-back
wins now at 1,400 metres. He's a 3-time winner at this trip throughout his career. In a few months' time, could he potentially be a horse that heads up to Kalgoorlie for a race like a Hannon's Handicap?
We talked about it. I'm a bit reluctant. I took a horse up there years ago, Rocky Morano. He was favourite. Danny Miller said he'll win. I'll walk home if he doesn't. And it was a rock hard track. We got flat and that was it. So, you know, I don't really want to go back there, but you never know.
It was a long walk home for Dashing Dan. Does he still have more racing in him this time in?
He may go to the paddock, but I think maybe one more. I honestly think, you know, he'll get a mile, no worries. He's a horse like Tess has just done a wonderful job with this horse, you know. Even at home, he used to want to bolt on her, but she puts him in the arena and we just muck around with him. He doesn't gallop between races. The only two people sit on him are Tessa and Brandon, and you know, it seems to do the trick, you know, and so hopefully he can keep going, Lockie.
The team has clearly found the trick to him. Congratulations, he made it back-to-back.
Thanks very much, Lockie.
There's Bruce Kay, an absolute gentleman here in Western Australia, and so is Brandon Louis, and that was a terrific ride to take out the last of the afternoon. As I said to Bruce, Michael, in the early stages, Excel Train clearly found the front, but there was just a moment in time where Awesome Boy clearly wanted to get rolling and get running, and that's exactly what Brandon Louis allowed him to do.
100%, and as we've touched on many times today, he's a good horse when he's allowed to roll. You can understand them trying to teach him to settle a little bit earlier in his career, but the proof's in the pudding now. Let a fast horse be fast, as they say, and he rolled straight to the top last start from barrier 13. He rolled straight to the top eventually from barrier 12 today, and he just has that ability to break their hearts through the middle stages of the race, and then he can extend late off of that. He's got a really high cruising speed. Awesome Boy, 56 kilos today. He can go to another one, get in with 58 kilos and win again.
Exactly right. He's still lowly rated as well. He goes into the low 80s off the back of that win. Bruce is obviously a little bit reluctant to potentially freshen and head up to Kalgoorlie for a race like a Hannon's Handicap, but if he wasn't concerned about the travel or racing at Kalgoorlie, he'd be a horse that would get in really well in a Hannon's Handicap on the minimum.
Certainly would. Some nice lead-up races towards that race as well. We have that Jockey Celebration Day Stakes, which is an 84 plus on the 1st of August here, 84 plus 1400 metre race. So if he did go to another assignment next month and win, he could go to that and get in on the minimum. But if Bruce doesn't want to take him, maybe I will, Lockie. I'll take him to Kalgoorlie for him.
And I agree with Bruce. Off the back of his win today, he was dominant on the line. At one stage at the 200 metre mark, it looked like they might catch him late, but the longer the race went, the more he powered away all the way through to the line. So a mile shouldn't be beyond him.
No, it shouldn't, because he's got that high cruising speed and he can sustain it. Interestingly, all 4 of his wins now have come on top of the ground, so Kalgoorlie is a good option. I wonder what he would be like on the wet tracks, because he has only ever seen a soft track twice in his career and they weren't that wet. He was unplaced but still solid enough, so not to say he couldn't go on the soft going, but at the moment he is doing it all on top of the ground. Brandon Louis knows him like the back of his hand. Brandon, on paper, it looked like a carbon copy set up to last start, and it pretty much played that way once you were able to work to the top.
Yeah, exactly. I was sort of concerned, but Excel Train is here first up, 1400 metre. And I was probably playing B-ball just to try to sit off, but knowing him now, I know he's fit and we can do what he liked to do, so I sort of let him be him and just give him a breather. And in the straight, he just, you know, just a good horse, mate. Nothing special.
He's got such a good cruising speed, though, doesn't he? He really rocks them along that big free stride, and then he can just drop them away on straightening after he essentially breaks their hearts.
Yeah, exactly. I think the hardest part with him is to get there. The first 2 or 3 runs, you need to get fit. Then, of course, when you can allow him to do that when he wants to do it. But credit to Bruce, you know. Obviously, not much opportunity, but he's always behind my back, and I really appreciate it.
He's against Kalgoorlie for a Hannon's Handicap. Lockie and I are for it. We'd love our time there. Would you think he'd be a nice Kalgoorlie Hannon's Handicap horse, this one?
I would try my best, mate.
Well done on the win. You've taken out the last aboard him. 2 out of the last 3 weeks.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
There's Brandon Louis. What an absolute champion he is, and we'll start the campaign to get Awesome Boy up for the Kalgoorlie round. Michael, unfortunately, we intend to enjoy the Kalgoorlie round for the wrong reasons, but Awesome Boy would be a very fun horse to follow up there in a Hannon's Handicap.
Yeah, he certainly would. I don't think Brandon drinks, so maybe he's the wrong one to ask about that. He might not be the best sparring partner, but maybe he can do the responsible stuff, go there, look after the horse, strap him. Maybe I could drive to Kalgoorlie and you could drive home. That probably sounds like a good deal for me.
I wouldn't have thought so. I'd be flying up, my friend.